Hey TVC basketball fans, Brett Appleton here, and along with Pat Chiesa, I'll be one of your Hardwood Hero online hosts for this season. Now, along with our website, we're also going to be finding a new home on WOUB2 Sundays at 6:30, premiering January 16th. Now, what you're watching right now is one of our segments we like to call Around Athens County, where each week some of our reporters and crew will travel to high schools around the area and break down the week that was in high school basketball. Now be sure to check our website frequently for updates this season, and don't forget to watch us January 16th at 6:30 on WOUB2.
Another disappointing week for the still winless Alexander Spartans, who wasted a superb performance from senior guard Michael Chapman and a 70-63 home loss to the Megs Marauders. Chapman filled the stat sheet, scoring a game-high 29 points with 5 rebounds and 6 assists, but it wasn't enough as the Spartans continue their disappointing start to the season and now sit a TVC Ohio worst 0-5 on the campaign. Some good news for the Spartans is the fact they'll have a little extra time to prepare for their Monday afternoon contest against Wellston at Quicken Loans Arena, as their December 17th game with Nelsonville-York was postponed because of inclement weather. The Spartans also have a tilt on the 21st with Oak Hill, so the Spartans really need to use this extra time to shore up their deficiencies on both sides of the ball to ensure that this slow start to the season does not snowball into a disastrous one. For the 3-1 Lady Spartans, both of their games this past week were canceled because of the weather, so they have stood pat, still itching to hit the hardwood after an impressive come-from-behind victory against Pickerington Central. Coach Guthrie's Lady Spartans have one game this next week that is a home tilt Monday night against South Point. Coach Guthrie says his Lady Spartans are excited to get back out there, but knows that South Point will come in more than ready for the challenge. But make no mistake about it, the Lady Spartans will be as well. That's all on your report for Alexander. I'm Blake Brody. For more on the Athens Bulldogs, here's Josh Huntsberger.
Here in McAfee Gymnasium with the Athens Bulldogs, I'm Josh Huntsberger. Although it was a slow week for the boys and girls teams due to the inclement weather, there was plenty of excitement in what we did see. The boys' only game of the week was when they played host to the Vinton County Vikings, and it was quite the thriller. The Vikings led nearly the whole game by simply capitalizing on the Bulldogs' sloppy play. Athens had 20 turnovers on the night and trailed by 13 points entering the fourth quarter. But with the help of Devon Sharp's 8 fourth quarter points, the Bulldogs stole the lead with just over a minute left in regulation. But after back-to-back turnovers, Vinton County regained a 2-point lead. And just when all hope seemed lost, senior leader Trey Harris hit a mid-range jumper at the buzzer to send it into overtime. The Bulldogs would gain an early overtime lead just to have it stolen by the Vikings in the closing seconds. Jason Wiseman scored to give the Vikings a 2-point lead, leaving Athens enough time for just one last shot. A well-designed play by Coach Skinner gave Joe Germano a wide-open look at the buzzer, but the shot would fall short on the front iron, giving Vinton County a 61-59 victory. The Bulldogs have lost the past 2 games by a total of 6 points, both in overtime. They now fall to 1-3 on the season and 0-1 in the TVC Ohio, and that's their first loss in 14 games of TVC Ohio play. Their next game is December 21st. That's a Tuesday at the Trimble Tomcats, and that will be an essential game for them to win there as they start a 3-game non-conference streak against opponents of Marietta, Jackson, and Dublin Scioto. Look for Devon Sharp to keep it rolling as he's been averaging over 12 points a game. The only thing he needs to work on is his turnovers. If he can pull his turnovers down, the team will follow suit. As for the ladies, they had an off week with 2 cancellations of their games. They are off to a 3-1 start after falling week 1 to Eastern Brown. Their next game will be Monday the 20th when they will host the Jackson Iron Ladies. This game starts a 4-game non-conference stretch when they'll play 3 former league opponents, Gallia Academy, Warren, and Logan in the month of December. As center Elena Line has proven herself to be heroic this season, it will depend on the play of senior guard Gracie Staten and the backcourt to beat the undefeated squads of Warren and Logan. That's all for your report on the Athens Bulldogs. I'm Josh Huntsberger. Now on to Grant Burkhart with the Federal Hawking Lancers.
It's been a rough go so far for both the boys and girls Lancers squads. Neither team has a win of yet. The boys played Friday night at home against Belpre, where the Golden Eagles got off the schneid and won their first game of the season against Federal Hawking to improve to 1-4. But the boys Lancers squad struggled throughout the game. They got within 3 points late against the Golden Eagles, but couldn't quite complete the comeback, as Federal Hawking's Lancers are now 0-3 overall. Their first 3 losses to Waterford, Eastern, and now Belpre, all in league play. The Lancers are going to need to find a way to get Chris Saylor involved. The 7-foot center for Federal Hawking needs to get more touches. He only had 6 points in the loss to Belpre, but he had 10 rebounds. It's been a struggle for Chris Murray's team to find consistent scoring on offense. Ryan Rex led the Lancers with 13 points against Belpre, but in their next few games, up until the new year, Tuesday the 21st against Nelsonville-York, and the following Tuesday against Alexander. They'll need to find a second scorer, maybe Chris Saylor, the 7-foot center. If he can get into the mix offensively, that would be great for Chris Murray's squad. The Lady Lancers didn't play this week. Their game against Eastern was postponed due to the snow outside. But with only 5 players in the squad, Dave Crozier's team could probably use a little breather between now and their next game, Monday the 20th against Waterford, and 2 more games before the start of the new year, the 23rd at Nelsonville-York and the 27th home against Wellston. But the Lady Lancers have been absolutely competitive in the TVC Hawking. If you remember, about 10 days ago, Southern came into Federal Hawking, and the Lady Lancers nearly beat the Tornadoes. Southern won that game 50-47, but by the end of the 4th quarter, Federal Hawking was playing with just 3 girls on the floor. 2 Lady Lancers had fouled out in the 4th quarter. So that team is definitely fighting on and will hopefully get a win in the near future. That's your report on the Federal Hawking Lancers. I'm Grant Burkhart with more on the Nelsonville-York Buckeyes. Here's Maddie Kuhn.
Thank you, Grant. The Nelsonville-York Buckeyes had their first case of weather intervention this week. The girls have not played a game since December 9th because of the cancellation of their game against Vinton County on December 13th, while the boys' contest against Fisher Catholic has been rescheduled for December 22nd. The game that was originally scheduled for Monday, they did manage to squeak in some gameplay on Wednesday against Wellston. A 47-41 win over the Golden Rockets was a good morale booster for the Buckeyes. It was their 2nd win in a row and began their conference schedule on the right foot. The team's worst-kept secret, Daniel Klein, erupted for 20 points to help lead the team's comeback march for their 2nd win of the year. They had a chance to gain some steam in the TVC Ohio with a Friday night matchup against an uncharacteristically down Alexander team, but that game was also canceled due to weather. While the Christmas and New Year's holidays draw near, there is still more basketball to be played. The girls' team draw a matchup against Amanda Clear Creek on December 20th. The Lady Aces have a 1-4 overall record with an 0-2 road record. 3 days later is another home matchup against a winless Federal Hawking team. And wrapping things up is a trip to River Valley on December 30th, where the girls hope to avenge the loss that the boys had in overtime to the Raiders. A 2-1 record through these games is not out of reach. That would leave the girls with an even 3-3 record, poised for a fresh start after the new year. The boys take the floor again on December 21st versus a struggling Federal Hawking team who has yet to find the win column. Then their makeup game is the next day against Fisher Catholic. But the December 28th home tilt with Trimble is when this team's true colors will really shine. Coach Klein will have to find an answer for Trimble's big man Noah Guthrie, who is averaging 24 points per game. After Wellston's game Wednesday, Coach said the Bucks' bigs needed to step up, and this will be the time to do it. The boys should aim to finish the year with 2 out of 3 wins to leave them with a respectable and even record of 4-4. That's all from Buckville. I'm Maddie Kuhn. And now we'll turn to Kristen Walters for more on Trimble.
Thanks, Maddie. On the back of Noah Guthrie, the Trimble boys beat Southern 67-56 Friday night and improved their record to 3-1 overall and to 2-1 in the TVC Hawking. Guthrie scored a season-high 29 points in the Tomcats' 11-point win in Gloucester. The Tomcats' big man has scored at least 20 points in all 4 of Trimble's games and is averaging 24 points per game during Trimble's hot start to the season. They go as Guthrie goes, though, so the 6'7" center will need to be at his best in every game, starting with the next stretch of road games, Tuesday, December 21st at Athens and a week later in Nelsonville-York. Can Noah Guthrie keep up his smoking hot start? That's a fun storyline to watch for the rest of the season. On the girls' side, the Lady Cats didn't play this week because of wintry weather, and their struggles continued Saturday afternoon. Trimble lost on the road to Wellston's Lady Rockets 59-37. Trimble's Jessie Spears struggled and only scored 11 points, but Spears and Taylor Savage are the Noah Guthrie of the girls' side, if you will. The 2 seniors make up more than half of the Trimble offense. The girls are 2-4, have lost 3 in a row, and play twice more before the new year, December 20th against Wahama and December 28th on the road at Morgan in a non-conference matchup. That's all for your report on the Trimble Tomcats. I'm Kristen Walters, and that's all for Hardwood Heroes around Athens County. Check out our TV show. It debuts January 16th, 2011 at 6:30 p.m. on WUB2 and Nelsonville TV cable. Check out our website often at wub.org/heroes, and remember to be heroic.